Happy Saturday evening. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Everett here in the King 5 newsroom, and we have a first alert weather event in place. We're watching a frontal boundary that's going to pass over tonight. It's going to do a couple of things. It's going to bring some heavy snow to the mountains, periodically heavy rain to the lowlands, and some gusty winds getting up to about 30-40 miles an hour sustained. But I do see a couple of pockets where it'll get up to about 45 and even 55 miles an hour tonight, and that could cause some power outages. So let's get right into it as we take a look at the details of our first alert weather warning. First of all, is that mountain snow. Now, we've seen a couple of snow events in the mountains already, but this one, well, we're going to see those snow levels drop from about 3,500 feet where they were this afternoon down to about 1,500 feet, and that is going to put some measurable snow up into the passes. I'll give you the details on that using Futurecast in a moment. The other thing, too, as the frontal boundary passes by overnight tonight, looks like those winds will peak right around 2 a.m., so passes will get up to about 45 miles an hour, but some regions along Puget Sound, especially our northern counties and our islands, will get up to about 55 miles an hour. I'll show you the details on that too. The one big concern that I have there is the potential for power outages. Now, I'm not expecting widespread huge power outages like the last wind event that we had, but I do think that they're possible late Saturday into early Sunday. And of course, for folks who rely on electricity for their heat, that could be an issue. Winter storm warning. This is an upgrade from the winter weather advisory that was in place earlier, and you can see that it has a very large footprint, basically the entire Cascade range from the Canadian border all the way through Oregon there. And again, those snow levels dropping down to 1,500 feet are really going to cause some issues, especially in those mountain passes as people are traveling to the Apple Cup or just back and forth after Thanksgiving. Looks like that's going to be in place until 10 a.m. on Monday. Wind advisory, that kicked in and will stay in place until 6 a.m. on Sunday. Kind of hard to see there, so I put some arrows in some of the areas that I'm concerned with, especially along the coast, but looks like up towards Island County and then coastal Whatcom and Skagit County could see some of those gustier winds up to about 45 and again even 55 miles an hour. So this isn't going to be a big rainmaker for us, but what we will see is what's called orographic snow. That's basically when moisture gets trapped in the mountains and then kind of pushed by that wind. Will continue to keep that snow blowing overnight tonight and through the day on Sunday and even into Monday. Here, let me show you. We put Futurecast into motion. We see that snow that's flying from Baker all the way down through White Pass. This is Saturday night right around 9 o'clock, and we've seen those snow levels drop to a point where we will see snow that will accumulate and stick in the passes. We'll also see some heavy rain off towards Vancouver Island and the western edge of the Olympics there. So off towards, say, Jefferson County there, we'll see bands of periodically heavy rain. It starts to shift towards the south right around midnight Saturday into Sunday morning, where we'll see some heavier rain down towards the southwest and the southwestern interior, and we could be seeing some pockets of heavy rain near Mount Vernon there up towards Skagit and even Snohomish County. Fast forward to about 3:30 in the morning. Now you're seeing the frontal boundary has already passed, so we will see most of that rain start to taper in the very early morning hours before most people are even out of bed, but that snow will continue to fly in the mountains. Sunday, 5 o'clock in the morning, Stevens Pass and Snoqualmie Pass still active, and then we'll see some convergence that'll set up. So you're seeing what could be a double convergence. We'll see it definitely pushing some snow up Stevens Pass there along Highway 2, but we'll also see it driving up into Snoqualmie Pass throughout the entire day. Case in point, this is Sunday at 5:30, so even after the day is over, we're seeing some showers down in the lower elevations near Island County, and we're seeing that snow continuing to blow up into the mountains. In fact, we'll see it increase late Sunday night. This is around 11 o'clock where we're expecting another band of that moisture to move through, this time with those lower snow levels that are just going to keep those flurries flying in the mountains until right around midday on Monday. So that's why that winter storm warning is in effect for so long. We'll also see some low-level rain early on Monday and the possibility of seeing some low-level snow there too. We'll fine-tune that as it gets a little bit closer. In fact, the big story next week is going to be some very cold air that moves in here and brings the potential for some low-level snow. In fact, right around Tuesday morning, we'll see that next frontal boundary move in. It starts with some moisture that will then convert over to snow and possibly at some very low levels. So just giving you a heads up for next week, we see those snow levels get down into the hundreds on Monday and possibly as low as 0 or sea level both Thursday and Friday. So it's something we'll have to keep a close eye on. In the meantime, snow will accumulate. This is what we expect between Saturday night and Sunday morning. So Snoqualmie Pass, because, well, the snow level was riding around 3,500 feet on Saturday night, it's going to take a while for it to accumulate. So we're talking about maybe a half a foot there. But Stevens Pass will be closing in on 2 feet, and Baker will be well over a foot by the time we get into Sunday morning. By Monday morning at 11, now we're looking at some potential for, well, 1.5 feet up towards Snoqualmie and closing in on 3 feet feet up towards Stevens because of that convergence. And it looks like White Pass will be closing in on a couple feet as well. And by the time this event is done, yeah, we could be looking at 2 feet at White Pass, about a foot at Crystal, 3 feet at Stevens Pass, and just over a foot up towards Baker. So if you do have any travel plans through Snoqualmie Pass, basically the messaging here, Saturday night, not the time to go. Early Sunday morning, also not looking so great. It looks like late Sunday into Sunday afternoon is going to be the best window for crossing the passes there, but again, you will see some flurries flying. You just won't see the gusty winds that you'll see on Saturday night, and as we saw earlier on Sunday night, it's going to stay cold up there, and we'll see that snow continue to fly until Monday morning. Something I want to show you about the winds. So this is Saturday night. We'll see those wind gusts getting up to about 25 miles an hour in a lot of spots, including along Puget Sound and down towards the southwest interior. Fast forward to after midnight, and this is when the frontal boundaries passing by. In fact, you can see that wind now starting to switch towards the north and west out towards Quileute, where gusts get up to about 35 miles an hour, and we'll see those gusts over 30 miles an hour along Puget Sound. This is 2 a.m., and this is when I expect those winds to peak. So looking for some gusts around 40 in Bremerton, that could be enough to knock out power in some spots. We'll see some upper 30s in Tacoma and Puyallup. That's also problematic. But take a look at Oak Harbor, 45 mile an hour gusts, and it's going to last a while. In fact, it takes until about 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning to even get back from that 40 mile an hour range, and that's why I'm a little concerned about the potential for some power outages there. So it looks like they'll be spotty. They won't be as widespread as they were last time around, and it'll be breezy, but it doesn't look like it'll be too gusty as we proceed through Sunday into Monday. Overnight lows are going to be chilly tonight. In fact, most of us will be touching down either at or slightly below the freezing mark. Seattle and Renton will be slightly higher, Tacoma as well, because we'll be in that rain shadow, so we won't be seeing as much of the cold as the other folks will, but it looks like it's going to be a chilly night. And again, if the power's out, that's going to be compounded. High temperatures tomorrow get into the mid-40s, and that should be good news if you are planning on going to the Seahawks game. Looks like it's going to be mostly cloudy, and I do see some showers moving in late on Sunday night, so I don't think it's going to affect you. But if you do go, make sure you bring at least some light rain gear with you. Winds will come in from the south-southwest about 5-10 miles an hour, and kickoff is at 105. 7-day forecast shows it being a first alert weather day. Again, most of the drama will be done early on Sunday morning there, but that snow will continue to fly in the mountains. And then as we move through the rest of the week, we've got some cold air. In fact, Friday could be downright chilly with a high temperature right at the freezing mark. That pretty much does it here from the Weather Center in King 5. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Everett. Stay warm, stay safe, and keep looking up.